Thank you for joining me here today at Re-Ritten Vintage Homestead. If you're watching me on YouTube, and Rittenhouse Farms if you're watching me local. And today I am out here in the garden having myself a pity party. Do you guys ever have pity parties for yourself? Well, I'm having one out here for myself, and I'm going to show you how I handle these things. So I have been, today's Sunday. Today's day 2 of being sick. My head and my joints are killing me. And it gets to the point where you take so much medicine, it starts making you nauseous. So I felt like I had to come outside and get some fresh air and have a little party for myself. So I haven't been feeling well. My dad, who's 91, he has not been feeling well. He just got out of the hospital and he's having some trouble with strength. So I've been worried about him, and my daughter's dog, who is Reggie, and that's my Marshall's brother. Reggie, the German Shepherd, you've seen him on videos here. The last month, he just started having trouble with his rear end. And so we had x-rays done. He doesn't have hip dysplasia. There's nothing broken. There's no cancer. So the only other explanation for that could be a nerve disease of some kind. And so he's dragging his legs and his hind end, and we're trying absolutely everything we can. Massages, exercise. We got a brace for his leg that helps him grip. He's taking additional supplements that add fluid to in between his joints. So, I mean, we just have a lot going on, you know. And then you have the end of the season. You know, things start slowing down, and you're really grateful for that. And it starts getting cooler, and I don't know about you, but I'm grateful for that. And the leaves are beautiful. It's a beautiful day, but still everything just looks, you know, starting to look kind of sad. So when I don't feel good and when I get in these moods, I work. You know, I know I'm weird, because just like when it's 100 degrees outside, what do? I bake. I love to bake when it's 100 degrees outside. I don't know why. But, you know, and I was reading about bees. There's certain kind of bees in life. So you have your queen bee. I've never been a queen bee, I don't think. Other people might argue that fact, but queen bee, and then you have your worker bees, and then you have your drones, you know, that are just like the henchmen kind of thing. But they all have a little community, you know. And I think in life, I've been able to determine I'm a worker bee. I work. I work for the approval of others, which I've been trying really, really hard not to do anymore. I've been trying to work more for the approval of myself. I work to get my mind off of things. I work to reach goals. So I'm a worker. And I hope I'm always a worker, because it's gotten me through a lot of things. So what we're going to do here at this party today is we're going to put the phone down, and I've got to put a lot of things to bed. It's time that I put them to bed. And I have a few things out here that need harvested still, and we're going to get those too. So I am so excited. I've got friends that came to my party, you guys. So let's get busy. So I'm going to start with strawberries here, and I tell you, we still haven't had much rain, so it's dry, and it's going to be hard to dig in. But I am going to pull the weeds and clip them back and water them good, and then we're going to cover them with straw and put them to bed for the winter. I think I'm done producing here for the season, so I'll get busy on that. And then I also need to put my bird bath up before it freezes and cracks. Not everybody does, but I have always cut my runners, because from what I've read, the runners choke out your healthiest plants, and they keep oxygen from flowing freely between the plants. And you know, it's just like when you have an aquarium full of fish, and they keep having babies, and the more babies they have, the more they fight for food, and the more they fight for food, the smaller they get. So I want my core plants to be the strongest and the healthiest. And the runners, usually in the spring, I cut those back and then I sell those. So you can see how they attach to each other and they just start choking the airway and the food source from the rest of the plant. And you know, guys, even if, I know you can't see me, but even if all I do today is this one thing, that's enough. This one thing was enough to get me out of the house and get me in some fresh air and get my mind off of things. And I want you to know, I've got a visitor out here now at my party. So I need to switch my camera here if I can. There he is. Because usually wherever I go, here he comes. So he decided to have a pity party for himself too, didn't you, buddy? Say darn right. And you know, if he wants to, I've got the door open. He's got the whole yard. He could go wander in, but no. He wants to feel sorry for himself, just like me. I finished my party up late last night, and I got the strawberry bed all cleaned up. Just as I was about to put the bird bath up, I had 2 little goldfinches land in there, so I'm gonna leave it up a little longer. But that's all cleaned up. Now I have a row of beans here that I have to get rid of. And I still have a mess of beans on these plants, so I'm excited about that. That'll give us one big nice dinner. I'm gonna take some of these butternut squash in and cook those up tomorrow and make me a bunch of butternut sausage soup. Doesn't that sound delicious? It's cold out today, so that's going to be yummy. And this is the last week of October, and I've got to get the tomatoes. As you can see, they're done, and we're going to be getting a frost in a couple days, so I am going to harvest the rest of the red ones that are good and get this mess cleaned out. The okra has some that waited until fall to start producing. So I'm gonna see what I can get out of there. I have to clean up my peppers. I still have some peppers and another row of tomatoes, but we're getting there. We've got a lot of it cleaned up, just a little left to go. It's only 6 o'clock, but the moon is already out over the pine trees. And it looks like the girls have already put themselves to bed. So we need to go do roll call before we go in. So I'm finishing up. It's taken me a couple days. This okra had the better of me because its roots are really, really deep in the ground. And it didn't want to come out. So I had to get the shovel and my sharp little fisker things to cut it out. So that's what I'm working on. I'm going to get this done today, and then I have to start processing the end of the harvest. So I'm chugging my Gatorade. I'm still fighting really bad joint pain and fatigue, but it's too beautiful to be inside. My head's feeling a little better, so Marshall and I have decided to come out and have a picnic lunch with the girls. And the horses are over there too. Don't know if you can see them. But it's a beautiful day, and we are going to have leftover chicken and cottage cheese and Gatorade out here in the beautiful sunshine. I'm over here pulling peppers, and Marshall is laying right next to the girls, keeping them safe. Isn't he a good dog? He is such a good boy. He's keeping his eyes on those horses too. Look what I found on the ground growing in between the peppers. Some volunteer cherry tomatoes, and I just took a bite out of one, and they are a taste of summer. So you can bet I'm not leaving these on the ground. We are finally on the last row of tomatoes, and then we are done harvesting for the season. Yippee! All right, so we are done. It's It's November 1st. I got all of these tomatoes, and I know there's some of them are really small. Doesn't matter to me. Same story with the peppers. Doesn't matter to me that some of them are small, because with people being hungry right now, some people have lost their SNAP benefits. I am not going to complain about the size of my produce. And I've got a ton of peppers under here. So I will have plenty of tomatoes. Doesn't matter how small they are, they'll still make soup and spaghetti sauce. The peppers, I'm going to put some in the freezer. Probably will pickle some. But I'm real pleased. And couple of my tomato cages broke. So I'm going to keep the hoops here, and I'm going to make a wreath out of it, I think. So I try to save whatever I can. And now it's time to put the girls to bed because it's only 4. But it's starting to get dark here in the woods. So the next thing we're going to do is I have some Italian sausage here that I'm frying. And to that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of thyme. And that smells like Thanksgiving. A quarter of a teaspoon of red crushed pepper. 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Some garlic, and some heart-healthy turmeric, 2 teaspoons of that. And we're just going to combine all of those with our sausage, cook it real well till the meat is no longer pink, and all of our flavors here have combined, and then we'll go on to the next step. In my pot here, I have 2 cups of the butternut squash, and I'm very happy I ended up with 6 cups, so I'll have some to freeze. That's from 4 of the butternut squash out of my garden. And so to that, I'm going to add 6 cups of chicken broth. And a half a cup of sweetened condensed milk. Now it actually calls for, the original recipe I have calls for evaporated milk that I don't have. But if you don't have evaporated milk, feel free to add the sweetened condensed milk or heavy creamer or even just regular milk. It won't hurt anything. So I'm going to put my camera down and add this. I'm going to use my immersion blender, mix it all up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Look at that creamy goodness, and I've already tasted it, and even though it's cold, it is fantastic. You have the sweetness of the butternut squash and the sweetened condensed milk, and then you also have the savory from the sausage and the thyme, Italian seasoning. It's just fabulous, but we're not done yet. I'm going to let this simmer on low for about 45 minutes, and then we're going to add the final touch. I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell this. It just smells like fall. It's just so hearty and healthy and delicious. But we're not done. Now when you go to Panera, they're not going to add anything like spinach. But I really like the extra touch of spinach in my soup for the vitamin C that it provides. So I'm going to stir that in. And that won't take long because the spinach will eventually just wilt. And we are going to have a wonderful soup here for dinner. Super, super easy. You can also beef this up by adding, you can add Great Northern beans if you'd like. You can add corn, you can add carrots, anything you want. I like mine simple with just a little bit of spinach and sausage. So everything's finally cleaned up and put to bed, buried and put away until next year. So we had a great season this year. The food cart did fantastic this year. It keeps getting better and better. And I only hope that next year, you know, we can still do it and the garden does as well as it did this year. Always learning new things though, always learning new things. So we're going to implement those for next year. So you guys, make sure you put the garden to bed and you feed it and you add some ground cover and you add some vitamins and minerals and things that you need to so you have a real healthy harvest next year. Take those leaves, put them on your garden, take those pine needles, put them on the garden and bury it real well as all those things you can do nothing about. Hope you guys have a great week and see y'all next time.